Whatever person they not lawyer. Never We did. She said, oh yeah, we know what that is. Sandy, it's okay. You can have mine. Yeah, I got one on my desk. Yeah, I mean, so what's the fair? It's pretty unusual. She's still. I've been doing good. Good. Yeah. With the fun, I'd rather do that. I put on here whatever. I'm sorry. You do have it. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the world. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's okay. I remember there was one that I don't know. My mind is here today. Yeah, y'all go ahead. I guess he's talking.
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Madison County Board of Commissioners. Agenda setting work session, June 6th, 2022, 6 p.m. Sorry, I thought we were waiting on he's coming. Chairman's report. Actually, for 2 weeks because we just done one, but just notable mention: Senior Center. It will be held on June 11th from 9 to 1. The summer market is being held each month, June through October, at the Senior Center parking lot. The splash pad at the rec now open. Normal operating hours are Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 7. We're going to have hundreds of people Monday and Tuesday, guaranteed. For a reason, don't jump the fence. I hate to do it, but it happens every year. Fall sport open until July 1st. Sports include soccer 101, regular soccer, ball, softball, travel ball league. Please visit the rec department website for more information. The Chamber of Commerce is selling Madison-made sampler boxes until June 13th. These are packed full of local business products. This is a great way to support local business. June 14th is a public workshop for the comprehensive plan. This event is being held at the center at 6 p.m. Please join us for a community meeting about the future of the county and its cities. You can online survey at madison-compplan.com. This is important, very important meetings that I would ask everybody to please, if you can. This comp plan, I know everybody in this room has heard about it because we've been talking about it for a year. This is something that will determine the future of Madison County. We want your input. The food bank ad has been poured for the expansion. It was finished to EMS station framing. Will begin tomorrow. So a lot of work going on around the county. Timberland Drive is construction, and in my chairman's report, which is not on here, yes, Facebook, I know you have a pothole. I've got a lot of them. I will reiterate again that we have 14 maintenance guys. 4 of them is cutting sides of the retail trucks. I got 4 mechanics, and I got 6 people building roads. I got 570 roads, 125 miles of dirt roads. I'm sorry my 6 guys cannot get you working as fast as we can. I promise you. I'm very road department. Very proud of the work that they're able to turn out daily. They have been working weekends. Even planting trees. Just let me know what it is. I promise we will get to them in a timely manner. So, soapbox speech for the night. Good deal. Moving on to something more important. Yeah. Some smiles out of y'all. How many of y'all come to a government meeting and smile, right? That means everything's going well. Public hearing and action on zoning matters. Mr. Canola, Scott.
Good evening. Response?
Oh, good evening.
We all look forward to this. Okay, our first request was from Representative by Attorney David Jordan. He is requesting for use application for a dog kennel with a maximum of 25 breeding dogs be considered for approval. This is the second time that this one has been before you. Last time it was sent back, Planning and Zoning Office and the Planning and Zoning Board for some additional work consideration. After a motion was made, the board voted to approve the conditional use request. Conditions that there can only be a maximum of adult dogs on the property at all times. The vote was not unanimous. The vote was 2 to approve. There was some opposition to it, but it was voted to approve by a vote of 2.
Thank you. Mr. Canola, or Mr. Scott, on the opposition, what was any?
I think that gentleman is here tonight, probably for your public hearing.
Okay. We'll let him speak in a minute. Sir?
Yes, sir.
Christopher, before opening this up, has everything that was requested by P&Z, has it been completed?
With the exception of one item, the location being within 100 feet, I thought that might come up with discussion.
All right. Is anybody here to speak in favor of?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for having us back again. Mr. Park, you also have a gentleman here who can maybe help translate if we have any questions in the process here. Again, thank you for having us this evening. I'm not going to be allowed to have any kind of rebuttal after public.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Mr. Park, for a maximum of 25 dogs, adult dogs on the property. The issue, and we presented a little more, this time you had a little better plan to take a look at. The issue with the residents, in front of the owner's residence are puppy pens, and there is a movable that's used to not house the dogs, but to let the dogs play in, or somebody wants to come take a look at the dogs. So those dogs are not, I'm not, I just remind that puppies are not counted in the count until they're 6 months old. And as far as a kennel goes, and he's that long, if he were doing that, he'd be out of business very quickly. He has to move them fast. This is his livelihood. He's been doing. He's made an investment here in the county, and he taxes. And the board should consider the process that all this land around here is agriculture, and the ordinance shows that this is meant to be and it's to be used for agricultural use for residences, not for. It's intensive. It's dirty. I think the last time I may hurt some feelings when I said it's for dirty type of agriculture, things that aren't pleasant, but they're in there for people to make a living with and be productive. When you look at this property, Mr. Park has the dogs that may be adult behind his run, and he would have he has modular pens that move from time to time. He lets the dogs run outside. He doesn't keep them penned up. He doesn't run a breeding facility where they stay boxed up all the time. They play and be healthy. And right now he has, I think, 23 adult dogs. Yeah. He does have a way to dispose of the waste as a composting method. He uses an enzyme to break it down and compost, and when it's done, it's for land application. It can be used for anything. It's not put back into the water. It's not buried. It can be used in a land application. When we look at the rest, plenty far set back from all the property line for the adult dogs. And if there's a concern, he can put about 14 acres here on 14.75 acres. The 5 acres is needed land for the kennel. Again, where else could he go? I mean, where else in the county could he go to do this, and it be least invasive on anybody? This is a consideration. He's been here doing this for years. He's never had a problem. The reason he didn't think it was a problem, the only way he found a problem, because he wanted it to be inspected by the state agriculture department, and they said, we've got to have the county's blessing on this, and he never knew that. So he's trying to do right. He's trying to do what he's supposed to, and he's trying to be a good citizen in the county. So I will save the remainder of the presentation for a rebuttal. And I will say that they're present at the P&Z meeting that was for it, but you should have letters of the neighbors closer to any objection that have no problem with Mr. Park doing this, running this business on agriculture. Those neighbors wrote in earlier and have no complaint with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else here? Any position? Yes, sir.
727 Anna Creek Church Road. My original voiced in January of this year when I first came to planning and zoning. The issue that I've had in the past years with this facility is noise. I've been some work done to try to modify this proposal to where the dogs don't bark at night. I'm not trying to be off. I'm not trying to run anybody out of business. I just don't want to get woke up in the middle of the night asking for it. I would like to, if we could, the dogs be kept indoors inside some kind of significant, substantial, not a mosquito net from Walmart content, but, you know, at night. Similar perhaps to the way dogs are kept down at the Madison Oglethorpe Animal Shelter, allowed out in the daytime. It's wonderful. It's good for them. They need that. That's what I would do for my dog. There's going to be raccoons. There's dogs. I've got 25 deer roaming around the house and home. They're going to go by. They're going to start dogs bark, and that's as normal as apple pie. I just don't want to hear it for the next 2 o'clock in the morning every single night all summer. That's all I'm asking for. And I don't have been addressed if there's been anything modified with this or not. That's the nature of and if we can do that.
Sir, how long have you lived at your residence?
34 years.
Have you heard him prior to this? Because he said he'd been in operation 23 years. I'm just...
Yes. Yeah. 3 summers ago, there was a neurotic dog that was barking all night. Most night, storm and wind, you can't hear it, but on a nice calm night, you know how the sound will carry out through the nice still air. It just carries, you know how the rumble strips sound 3 miles away.
Are they currently?
As of a couple of weeks ago, I had the problem had abated. There seems to have been some kind of effort to get it under control. I'm very, very thankful for that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else here? Sir, if you'd like to rebut that.
We became a noise concern really only until the application was made. Mr. Park has not received any notices, has not had any complaints. There's none that we see on record that there's been a noise problem. We, and I addressed this issue the first time we came, that I went over one evening just to see where might be. And I had, I think, a mule or a donkey going crazy over there. Loud as everything, louder than any off in a field somewhere. I mean, these animals are going to make noises, and it's what it is. It's agriculture. Whether it's cows or they're going to make noise. Horses. So we did recently, after the last meeting, Mr. Park and our residences and the ones that are nearby, and there's 23 homes close by. These homes are much closer to the gentleman in Oxford Smith, his home. Those homes, out of 23 homes, we counted, there's 30 dogs running stray. And those dogs are various sizes, and they are not leashed or kenneled. And they run everywhere. And they bark. When you drive up, they all bark. So there's not a short dogs in the community over there that run free. His dogs are all pinned up. It's I understand peace and quiet at night, and nobody wants to be disturbed. But Mr. Smith's property, the conservation use property, if you look at the tax map, you look at the data there, the house is unfinished. It's being used as a landing strip for an airport. It's in violation of zoning. And, my clients never really had a complaint of Mr. Smith directly. Never heard anything. Recently, I don't know that he's done anything major. I think we did come up with something that would try to manage the dogs, move them around, or separate them or something, and I have to make some arrangements to do better. Problem. I don't think he ever knew it was a problem. He's trying to be a good neighbor. But again, board this commission and say, I want someone to abide by the zoning ordinances, but not abide by it themselves. And I think that, you know, it's what's fair. I mean, his property is not conservation use. It's not a weekend getaway. It's not, he lives there. His house is right in the middle of it. He has to live with it, and he wants to be a good neighbor.
Question, sir. Do you have a facility set up for indoors during the evening? Yes.
He does have keeping leaders indoor protection. The canine's nature is very hard to keep people indoor. What it does is removable structure. It's hard to call building. It's not permanent.
Okay.
So years since he moved in the same location where he was, he still does law violations.
Okay. But does he have a place to keep them from barking? Does he have you know, in the kennel area, he put those dogs in the adult fit the structure?
Yes, although in case of severe weather conditions,
Okay.
heavy rains or loud lightnings, they go in a small, covered,
I understand.
it's bigger than regular dog house.
Sir, I would suggest you do know we have code enforcement.
Yeah.
It is good to know that you have a facility inside. It does make a difference. What kind of dogs are they?
Mainly he has a retriever.
Golden retriever. Okay. The
Not
reason is there's a big
other-
difference
yeah.
between raising retrievers and raising beagles. Beagles, so I'm asking that for reasons. Knowing we have that, knowing if you have a particular dog, in particular, or even two or three that barks constantly, you know you're going to get a visit from animal control. You know you're going to get a visit from code enforcement. You know it's that particular dog up or those particular dogs up until they quit barking. This may be part of doing business. The difference in a chicken house with a bad fan must fall in, but they know they have to fix that problem because nobody wants to shut them down. We just want to fix the problem and address the problem. And I think that's what your neighbor was stating. That being said, you do have a way to control this if it comes to be. May not, but if it does come, I'm knocking. Thank you, sir.
So everything is under control, sir.
You concur? Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Yes, please.
All right. January 3rd, when y'all remanded it, to provide clear guidelines and regulations for the dog. At that point in time, Mike found out that can enforce GBA as well, any conditions that we place. Would you go to the closer version? One in January was the water runoff, in which
I'm working on, I'm not tech savvy over here.
bam, you got it. The compost is an acceptable form of taking care of the litter as well as mortality on the property and not around, and that way the neighbors aren't concerned with it getting in the water tables of the state. So they came into compliance that way, and we found a method through the Georgia Agriculture to allow that. So we struck that one out. One hang up with the facility as far as our I'm going to step over, I'm sorry, I can't. 115 foot to the house, the puppy kennels, puppy pens, and the showroom are within the 100 foot. That's our minimum. So I'd recommend maybe taking that into consideration if we choose a variance or if we choose, like anybody else that was coming, make sure their operation is within the 100 on the property, but otherwise, Mr. Parks have done everything that we asked them to in January, coming to compliance. And they've been very friendly and, full information they presented to my office.
I would recommend, because of the setback that puppy pen house on the road's frontage to the rear of the house.
Yeah.
Once the house, you've met all requirements. Just so you know this.
Yeah.
All right. That'll be able to consider.
And we go back there. He does have room on his property to bring it in, fly
Yes.
side.
Understand what he's doing.
Yeah. Right. Then that, I'm sorry, I'm looking at some of my notes, apologize. Recommend due to this property that if it does go for approval, that we strongly consider allowing mortality to be buried, that he form to handle his mortality either through the composting or another means that is GBA approved burial.
Would that be allowed on the county at the transfer?
So long as they're under 200 pounds.
Station?
Well, there's some days I'm not too. But, gravy's always a plus. But just keeping in mind with the water problem before, I just put that on y'all's mind to consider. Unless any further questions for me?
I don't.
Yes, sir.
All right. Me. I'll ask for a motion to approve or deny Mr. Parks' rezone.
Motion to approve the rezone with this.
Conditional use.
Huh?
Conditional
Conditional use.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
the
said-
conditional use, yeah, the conditional use with the following, I guess, conditions. Number one, as the Z board put, 25 breeding dogs max. We know that the dog of the age of 6 months are considered an animal allowance. Number two, all animals must be composted on site, not buried. Number three, animal mortality must conform with state standard approved practices with the exception of thereof. It's not allowed in regards to this conditional use. Number four, all kennels, housing, and to the operation of this conditional use must be located behind the residence. That gets our 100 foot, which I think is because we're going to require other kennels to do the same. And moving forward, and I don't want to get into situations, I don't want to get into situations where we have a variance for one, and then we tell other folks they got to, meet that. We've got other people that are out of commitment that are going to come to us and ask these same questions. Remember that any kennels, housing, or other structures pertaining to the operation use that are within the 100 minimum setbacks or in front of us be removed or relocated immediately. Okay. Unfortunately, it's going to cost a little bit to get this conditional use approved for you if you may have to move your puppy things, but I think that's the outcome for all involved. And then number 6, working with Chris, who will avail himself fully, we'd like to see some design, install, and maintain vegetative buffer that will help with the noise. Because, I'm not so concerned with dogs and their amount that they're going to be, their noise factor behind the house and all that, and the puppies will be behind. Puppies are going to be the ones that are going to be the loudest in that time period, and other dogs around. So, therefore, I think that will be effective so that it has some kind of vegetative buffer. And I think, Chris,
Yeah, like what we do with chicken houses and other things like that, the noise barrier, the wind barrier.
right. So, this will work so that you in your livelihood and, will bring it into compliance. And that, you'll really be an example of those out there that are wanting to breeders in the county. So that's my motion.
Second the motion as presented.
I have a motion by second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen?
I've got a question there, Chief. I've heard two different terminologies. Adult dog, breeding dogs. Are we equating maximum adult dogs as breeding animals?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Personal, verbiage versus state versus, what we're using, any dog over, not 6 years, sorry, 6 months of age is considered a permanent dog.
didn't want special provision, some state ordinance saying that, you know, you have 25 breeding females, no matter how many males. Just,
Yes.
I'm just clarifying that. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So the sex doesn't come into the number.
How many animals total does the average site at any given?
That one I couldn't speak to as to the max number because the state doesn't.
Well, animal husbandry tends to dictate that they come in sync. I'm just curious, some months are we gonna have 150 and some have 25? I just would like their input.
I know they had brought that up to me at some point, dealing with the way he rotates them to control which female. I'm sure I say it correctly, all terms, but female, to where when they think up, only so many are exposed to the males.
It's called breeding.
Try to make it sound nice. But after they lock up, I want to use that one. He's coming around so he doesn't overload.
I quit.
But the puppy litter for golden retriever, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I think we talked about anywhere from 3 to 12, 17 puppies.
Maximum of 17.
So far.
Maximum of 7 site at one time.
In 23 years.
Sir.
He's been operating 23 years.
Yeah, but he's got, how many dogs now?
Let me do the breed at one time.
Right now, he's got 23 male, 5 or 6 males, and the rest are breeding females, 17 or 18.
All right. Any other?
There is one community is declared for the puppy and adult one. And if up to 6 months, they consider a puppy.
Right.
Yes, he does have a puppy. But before the way 10 years old, he sold his business. So mostly, people have name brand red puppy, don't want the 10 weeks plus. Because the brain is not going to follow the new homeowners. So that's the Georgia,
Okay,
animal controls regulation.
I
got you, buddy.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
But that's, I understand that part, but at any given time, how many puppies could potentially be?
Maximum so far had under 21, had 17, most puppies.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
So that's 17 female dogs, is what he's saying.
No,
Puppies
In a litter.
He's talking about in a litter, right, in a litter.
Totally,
Okay.
but
Back to my question.
one together, 23.
Let me just ask, it was Dalmatians, would there be 101 of them out there at one time? Then how many's gonna be 23 dogs that are breeding age dogs? Potentially, how many could be on this piece of property.
Okay, you can, but it never gonna happen. I've been breeding over 17 years. Used dogs, I'm still breeding it. It's a good lucrative. He cannot do it. He doesn't have employees. He doesn't partner by himself. So there's a big, you call, large size. Okay. Once average golden retriever, a regular retriever, over 3 years cannot have a 10 plus puppies as one, mostly between 4 to 8. Go over 4 or 5 years, once a year. Little is lower than 8 puppies. That's how the retriever canine business works.
But how many total puppies at one time? Female total puppies.
It can be maximum 12 to 14. But average is
Not per pup, not
per litter, 8. That's 8. Depends on how you,
We're gonna do the math. Never mind. We got
We
it.
got it.
We got it.
We got it.
No problem. Got it. All right. Any other discussion? All right. Mr. Adams.
No. Yes.
Yes.
No.
You too. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
But this was good.
Good job. Good job.
I mean, if it's the only thing we're gonna disagree on.
That's right. Disagree on dogs, yeah. Good shape. Christopher, good. I know there's a lot of work in that one. A lot of work put in, and I appreciate it. To know Scott, I appreciate the P&Z board putting in work also on that one. That was a tough one. A lot of work, right? I know. A lot of trips. All right, new business. Harold and Jonette Appleby.
This one you probably going to like. It's a little bit different. Hal and Jeanette rezoned their 5.75 acre property from RR to A2. Generally from A2 to R to A2 to combine with 5 acres of adjoining A2 property to serve as a privacy buffer for a total of 10.5 acres. Property is located at 145 Store Smith Road on map 15, parcel 047 in district. There was one person that spoke in favor of request to rezone, to approve the rezone request with the conditions that both tracts and into one. The vote was 6-0 to approve.
Thank you, sir. Might want to decide this one ain't gonna take long.
Take long, you're right.
Anybody here to speak in favor of? Good afternoon, gentlemen.
My name is Harold Appleby. I go by Butch Appleby. I would just like the board to consider this. I've seen it getting broken up in a lot of different areas, especially in the Sanford community. And the thoughts as the families getting older, family members selling off the property, I would like to protect some of the area around my property. So a neighbor of mine and I've discussed 5 acres from him so I could build a buffer and not have a house in my backyard. So this is why I'm asking the commission, because in 1992 when we had to be RR. And so that's why we zoned it RR, but now I would like it to zone it the same as the land I would like to purchase.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of? Anyone here to speak in opposition of? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board. Gentlemen, entertain a motion to approve tonight.
Be approved.
Second motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner. Discussion, gentlemen. Hearing none.
Same conditions as the P69?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't.
It will be one try.
Yes, sir. Like in that one track.
Just Z-bar,
Yeah.
Z-bar be done with it, okay. Commissioner Chandler?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
No, thank you, sir. You may get entertained and don't leave.
Okay, this one, potential business, Jerry and Amy requesting a conditional use permit for their 38.9282 property to allow them to build an operate hall for wedding, birthday parties, and other family-oriented events. The property is located, and it doesn't have an address, but it's old Dollar General store we're familiar with in Danielsville. Map 54, parcel 33. Ms. McKeechin had a very impressive PowerPoint that she showed to the board. She is here tonight. I don't know if she's going to present that same PowerPoint to you or not, but anyway, impressive. The board stated that the vote was for the event hall only, and said when the McKeechin wished to implement additional phases and activities beyond operating the event hall, apply for additional requests to be voted on individually. What that means is they have a lot of other plans in place we dealt with, and they're asking you to deal with tonight is the event hall. The board voted to approve the conditional use request conditions that they keep a 50-foot natural buffer between the subject and adjoining property on the southeastern boundaries. The vote was 6-0 to approve. More about that in your public hearing.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, come on up, young lady. I guess you're the one that put this PowerPoint together.
I am.
You've done a good job. If you'd like to, you can walk us through it if you'd like.
Okay, I'll be glad to. My name's Amy McKeechin. My husband Jerry and I have purchased this property back in December. This is our family, so you can kind of get here. We've been married for almost 32 years. We'll be in September. We've got 3 children, all boys. They all got married. And we had 2 grandchildren and 1 on the way. So Jerry's 91. He's done signs and inflatables, moonwalks, that kind of thing. I'm an RN. I went to hospital. We live in Lawrenceville currently, but we'll be moving here, and we're really excited about moving here. Anyway, so that's a little bit about us. Our vision for McKeechin Farm is to establish a farm scene location for various oriented activities, also known as agritourism. I'm sure y'all have heard that. It is our desire to provide a destination for families who can visit and be entertained while being educated about various things on the farm. Our hope is that the time spent in McKeechin Farm will be among the most cherished memories of the lives of every family member. To make memories. We did that a lot with our moonwalk business, and it just felt good. And so we want to continue that. We sold our moonwalk business in September, so we're on to new adventures now. So. And this is the proposed design for the property, phase 1, 2, and 3. And like he said, we have future plans, but we're just getting one approved tonight. So this, you can go on. Well, I think we can go there. Let's go back. Project will involve building an event barn for suitable, nope, I'm ahead of myself. Go to our house. Okay. All right, so this is gonna be our homestead, and this is kind of, this is like on the property. And we're hoping to build that within hopefully 1 to 2 years, but we were planning on building building costs have gone sky high, so we're backing up and playing G for now. But anyway, so you can go ahead. This project will involve building an event barn suitable for weddings, birthday parties, church parties, family reunions, whatever. The barn will be 2,600 square feet. Anticipate hosting just as large as 50 to 75 people. This is a small event barn. This will run inside the barn that will be suitable for receptions as well as wedding ceremonies on wedding day. I don't want to get married when it's raining, but if they do, we want to have that opportunity for them. And there will also be outdoor opportunities for ceremonies and gatherings as well. Parking will be underground. And our temporary plan is to have a small residence and a small apartment in the back of the barn until we can get our house built. That will be very soon. So that's kind of what it's going to look like, the front view and the side view. And these are just some, yeah, you know the next one. This is just some pictures of this. This is not what we do, but stuff kind of like what we want to do outside. We are going to build a fireplace out there and that is actually the curve and the bend in the river on our, just thought it would be a great photo op kind of opportunity. I love the river there. So, and also we can do birthday parties for kids, very much like inflatables still. And then 50th birthday parties and anniversaries, and it looks like that couple's having a really good time. I'm assuming they're who they are. But, and phase 2 is going to be, we're going to be just planting some trees on our property. We can make money doing this as far as like huge orchards. So I don't want to, because we're not farmers, because we're new to this. But we're going to try to plant some black walnut trees and apple trees and blueberry bushes and big trees and maybe the deer don't. We'll see. And so we can bring people on to, pick whatever fruit they'd like to. On the phase 3 is the property, which will be the south side, the children's area, and for photo ops, some sunflowers down there, and possibly a cornfield for a possible corn maze, who knows. Children's area will like the hay stuff and stuff that's like a building there, with our inflatable business, we still own that, so we might do that as well as the general list, is things that we could do for the fall themed kind of things to bring the community together and just have a family fun time. Of course, this is phase, it's not what you're approving tonight. We'll have to cover all this, but just want to let you know this is kind of our dream, and we're dreaming right now. And in conclusion, the motivating desire is to develop an environment that promotes an excitement for discovery for the natural world around us. We have a beautiful property there. I don't know if y'all got to go out there, but it's beautiful. Our hope is that in the years, McKeachum Farm will be still in Madison County. Any questions?
When you retire, do you chamber? Great sales pitch there. Really good. Can you go back to the original drawing of the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3? Did the board catch that phase 3, I think, part of the city limits?
No, phase 3 is on the county. Everything is in the county that I presented tonight.
Fruit trees.
The fruit trees may not be, but
It's got a dotted line, the very second one. The dotted line represents the city. Of course, it's 69.82.
yeah, just the black walnut tree.
Walnut tree.
Yeah.
And I think y'all have spoken to the mayor about it.
Yes, we have, and I don't know if the city council has met yet. We were waiting, so, but they were both for it, but wanted to go for them. But nothing that we're presenting tonight except for the black walnut trees.
Yeah, I spoke with him and he spoke highly of it.
So this property is across from?
The marketplace.
Right
It's right
across
across from the marketplace.
Morrison's property.
Yes.
right behind. Okay.
We did go to the neighbors that line that street there and talk to all of them.
Any questions for her.
Before we take that down, just for reference, 39 acres, give me a south to the north, and the plat says 60-something, right?
It's 69.8.
39, if we start at the bottom, work your way up, so you get to the 39, okay.
And I know that you said your homestead, you're gonna wait and put it there.
Where is it?
Where located at, once it is?
Right where he's pointing, yeah. Close to the venue, west is the Cedar River. And so we took all of it out and we staked it all out. We're just.
I think this looks like a wonderful plan. This is something that, I think the county definitely and Danielsville would benefit, and, I'm looking forward to voting on it.
All right. You speak in favor of? Anyone here to speak in opposition of?
Well, I'm not in favor or in opposition. I just have a question.
No problem.
To do it justice. I just learned, I live at 526. I'm right beside where they turn into the venue.
Yes, ma'am.
And where I'm good with is the noise ordinance. Since it's outside the city of Danielsville, does Madison County have a noise ordinance?
County's noise ordinance is the same as Danielsville.
It is.
You have 11 o'clock curfew, and on special holidays, you may have a 12 p.m. Fourth, I think it extends till 1 on that one day. But they mirror each other.
Okay, that was my question.
I think it'll be that loud at that time of night.
I was 25 feet from their property line.
What's your name, young lady, for the record?
Dickie Hunter. And I have met with Mr. Mitchell, and very nice neighbors, so.
Better watch them to have you plan. Anyone else here to speak in opposition of? Hearing none, bring it back before the board. Last year,
Chairman, I move this conditional use request be presented, be approved.
Mr. Chandler, second by Mr. May. Discussion, gentlemen.
For clarity, for the record, we're working on it as well, so just want that to be clear.
Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none?
The motion of the 50-foot natural buffer.
Yes.
State ordinance 17.
Yeah. Mr. May?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah. As a side note, we're just as excited as you are about it.
Okay.
I will ask, is there a sign up there in Gwinnett County somewhere telling y'all to move to Madison County? Because we're getting a lot of Gwinnettians in.
Well, there's a problem in Gwinnett, but I won't talk about that. We're excited. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let us know if we can help you. Remember, each individual little business thing, don't forget to pull your permits. You know.
Yeah.
All right, ready for the last, I think this is the last one for the evening. John Michael Barton.
Mr. and Mrs. Dalton. Herschel Dalton.
Dalton,
Herschel, Mary Dalton.
missing a,
Let's see, number 3, it's at the bottom. Page 3, number 3 at the bottom.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Apologize. It would have been okay.
And Mary Beth Dalton are requesting to rezone 2 of them from, again, RR to A2 to combine with adjoining A2 properties for a total of 4 parcels being combined into one with a total acreage of approximately 7.05 acres to sell. The properties are located near 2570 and 191 in District 4. The vote was 6 to approve.
Thank you, sir. You in favor of?
My name's Charles Jones. I'm a real estate agent with Success Realty here, representing Mr. Herschel and Ms. Barry Beth on this. I have some clients that lease our property. They've known them for quite a number of years. And in order for them to be able to buy this on a conventional loan, they have to have it as one. That's the only reason that we're doing this. We figured it would be pretty easy to take care of. I know the tends to favor going from RR to A2, so we wanted to go that route to make it a little easier for everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Who's here to speak in favor of? Anyone here to speak in opposition of? None? We'll bring it back before the board, and I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, for the so we need to have the condition that all 5 of these tracts be combined.
No problem.
It is 4 tracks.
Oh, is it 4?
Yeah.
Yes, 4 tracks.
4, I'm sorry, you're right, my bad.
All right, we'll entertain a motion to combine all 4 tracks in a condition.
Make 4 tracks. And, the A2.
Second motion.
Kirk, second motion by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen?
So that I just to clarify, the intent of these folks that are purchasing will build a single-family home.
It's already a single-family home on parcel number. There's already a home there.
Okay, all right.
Right.
That the home's out.
And it's not the intent to apply to break the property up again under the A2.
No, I'm not aware of anything at that point. No. Yeah.
They will be occupying that house. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Kirk.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes, sir. Tell Herschel and them we said hello. Yeah.
Well, now maybe we're back on track. Okay. John Michael Barton is requesting to rezone a portion, 2.1 acres of his 14-point property from A2 to RR to gift to his uncle. His uncle has been living on the property for 45 years. The property is located at 7709 Nowhere Road, on map 16, parcel 10301. The board voted for approval 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Was this done prior to the moratorium?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No problem. Good, sir. Thank you.
I'm Paul Waddell. I'm the uncle. This property belonged to my nephew. It's been our family for over years. I'm right in the middle of where my sister has been lived, and then the rest of the property is on the other side where my nephew owns. And I've been sitting right 5 years and been in the midst of a family situation, and it's all turned to my favorite time after 45 years, and I just appreciate it if y'all let me continue. I'm not going to build anything, tear down anything. What's there is there, and that's it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else here to speak in favor of? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Hearing none, we'll bring it back before the board and we would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Adams,
Second.
second by Commissioner Chet. Discussion, gentlemen.
It's actually a rezone. I see Christina looking, but
Yeah.
Be rezoned.
Hearing Commissioner Doster.
yes.
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 Yeah.
Heard you for 45 more years, young man.
Right, thank you.
Moving on. All right, there is no old business. New business to discuss a beer and wine license for LaSalle LLC in Culver.
This has come before y'all before for discussion, and then, alcohol licensing program, now that it's gone through the state's website, they logged in to check on the status and deleted their application, so the withdrawn, so they had to start their application again, so same application, nothing's changed ago when y'all first seen this. It's just requirement.
Thank you, Ms. Tracy. Appreciate it. Any questions, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion.
It's just for discussion.
Well, we don't
I
have
mean,
to.
that's for discussion.
Well, I don't know what your next meeting looks like, but, all right, we'll mow it over for a couple.
Well, I had a chance, while it's on the agenda, we'll talk about it. I
Yeah,
had a chance to eat there the other day, and, so just good to support a business in the community.
Let's get it off the table if we can tonight. I think it's the next meeting, maybe.
I have to wait, because it probably, we don't have it
Make a motion to
advertised.
move the urgent matter?
Yeah, that would be the right way to do it.
Motion to move this to urgent matter to end the meeting.
I'm sure it'll make them happy. All right.
So we need to vote on the urgent matter motion.
Second motion.
Second, yeah.
I have a motion, second, I have a motion by Doster, a second by Commissioner Chandler. All in favor, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes.
Discuss reappointing the Parliament to the Department of Family and Children's Services. Anyone here to speak on this? All right.
So it would suit me to move this, we move this to urgent matters too, so we can get it dealt with.
Fine. You have a motion by Commissioner Chandler to move to urgent matters. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Adams. Gentlemen, all in favor? Terry?
Yes.
Yes. Y'all are making 3 weeks from now much, much better. Discuss amendment to compensation policy ordinance chapter 50, section 40.
This was brought to our attention, it's been a while back. I'll use last week as an example. When Monday is county employees, so you get 8 hours that Monday, but you work Tuesday through technically worked 40 hours. So if there was a storm that Saturday or Sunday or Friday night or Wednesday night, and we have the guys the road and work on the weekend, they do not get paid out of our normal work week, because during a holiday week, you have to physically work 40 hours before you can earn time and a half.
Currently.
Yes, that's what it currently is. So this is options to where it states outside of that, if they come in regardless, like for a storm response, that they would get paid time and a half pay, or like a storm response pay, $1 time and a half of their regular pay.
That would be an option, if they would draw the overtime, if they were called in and not just chose to work.
Right, I have to have a department head or supervisor approval to be able to come into work. There was a tree down on my road, so I worked 3 hours cutting down a tree on my, that doesn't work. An actual department head or supervisor has to call them
we actually was, and if you notice the late response overtime, because that'd be the only reason somebody would have to come in, would be under some sort, whether it be a flood, snow, whatever. This is just for discussion. This is what we feel like is going to work best, and we have seen this play out just recently.
A couple months
I have a question. So is that if you, a holiday doesn't count as overtime hours?
Yeah, so I think that you can't work 40 hours this week and then say, but I'm gonna take Tuesday and Friday was 8 hours of overtime. You normally cannot do that. I think the intent here is to make an exception to that, so that if you were scheduled off on Tuesday, and then you're called in for storm work on Saturday period that we're counting, we're going to treat it as if you actually worked vacation days or holiday hours or whatever you took back on Tuesday. That's the intent.
So it would be, technically it's looking for people to take off vacation. Because I thought.
No, holiday, vacation.
Yeah, it's only holiday. I said sick.
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
I mean, so a holiday is not, if the county designates that a holiday, it doesn't count as a.
40 hours to earn.
As a day work. Yeah, that's right. So
well, every industry I know in the.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering about that.
From a state standard, everyone says that Monday is a holiday, and you work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
8 hours a day. Had to come in Saturday morning for 4 hours for some reason, you would not get that 4 hours.
It'd be straight pay.
Because you had an 8 hour that was non-work.
That's right.
So this is based around, not this. Yeah. So you have to physically work 40 hours to be.
Exactly. Even with 8 hours holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 8 hours holiday is a gift, it's not a
I was
work
confused,
day.
but I thought if you designated a holiday, that it had to be counted in there. But I guess that was my understanding of.
that may have been the policy where you worked, but that's not part of the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is the norm in the private now to go with option 2, that if the company calls you in, compensated at an overtime rate.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's where
Just be called in. Yeah, I mean, because, well, yeah.
See, and what we're trying to do is, because I'll tell y'all, just several months ago when we had some high winds, to be, but we had a holiday that week, and I ended up having 6 guys in here, 3 different trace calls, half the night, and they didn't get a dime for it other than the regular pay because that hopped them up. So this would allow them to get exemption of the holiday. It's a good move for our guys. It's really the only people that would actually be even falling into this.
So we, I meant to call Mike this week, and I'm not sure how much Tracy Day talked to you. Because it's emergency response, we took that out and we tried the only response for the road department. Storm response and your sheriff's department goes out, but they wouldn't, that deputy that's on call, on duty already, his hourly wage wouldn't change. So I just wanted to be sure Tracy had talked about being sure.
Yeah, that was my question.
Well, to be sure that our verbiage is correct.
Any emergency, if you have a situation, the sheriff calls people that are not currently on.
Yeah.
Not currently on scheduled duty.
Yeah.
I would
think if they're able to work and they're called in to work, I think it ought to count, whatever department they work.
And it would. That would happen normally anyway. Today, as it stands, this week, there's no holiday this week. If the storm happens today,
I know.
it gets paid.
Well, I think, but if they're working in a department and there is a holiday, then if they're called in, how to get paid if the holiday was the reason they weren't going to get paid.
Get overtime.
Yeah, they weren't going to get overtime, that's right.
We need to, this though a little bit different, exclude the word holiday, because you've got the guy that is be off on a vacation day. That's not a holiday, but he set up off on a vacation day. This takes a 3-day weekend before. He takes Monday off for vacation.
Yeah.
The same situation. It should read that if a person's called in the event of an emergency, compensated as an overtime rate.
So we're going to include vacation day.
That's what I'm saying. In this needs to be expanded a little bit to make sure we pick up the same situation exists if it's a vacation day or a holiday, or if they take a personal day.
Well, I think
it gets complicated now.
Yeah, it's just complicated. It's saying is included in A, where it says paid holiday or paid leave time.
Yeah.
But y'all are bleeding, you don't think so?
No, yes, you're right,
Okay.
yeah.
But another discussion y'all are having, somebody's called in to work on a holiday. What if that doesn't give them over 40 hours, but it was to get a holiday? Do you want to pay them time and a half for that? That's not part of this policy. I think y'all are talking about that.
Yeah. The vacation thing is, if you're scheduled for a vacation, let's just say Monday's your day, you come up short, and always work that and not have to use as many vacations. But a holiday is a guaranteed given 8 hours. If you work 6 hours and get 8 hours vacation, well, now you only burn 2 hours of your vacation. But what we're trying to clarify is if a holiday, which is mandatorily given to you, but is mandatorily taking away your overtime, we're trying to override that policy, correct?
So do we create a confusing situation in that example you just gave, where somebody then has an option to take overtime pay or recoup vacation?
They could look at a vacation standpoint, like Dennis is talking about. You could use you would
have we created a situation where they're being given this, and then that payroll has to cipher out, am I going to get time and a half, or am I going to say, I'm going to go vacation?
I've never seen anywhere that vacation time, and you end up going to be off Friday and Thursday, you work late, that you would get paid on Thursday. You would just use less time on Friday of vacation.
That's how I see my time sheet all the time. I just take less.
So we're not creating that option that's going to create
No, we don't do that. I never seen that done in the private sector. We don't do that at Caterpillar. You can't, if you take off, I think that it makes it simpler that a vacation day or a holiday, and you pay them, that you don't really give them the option that they can, you just pay them time and a half. Yeah, you pay them time and a half.
And that doesn't address the problem the chairman just described, where we have the holiday on Monday, all day and half a night on Saturday.
Well,
but I mean, if they had the holiday and that was a payday, you count that as in the 40 hours. I mean, that's the way.
Okay, that's what the chairman's talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about taking them, giving them the chance to take that.
Only on vacation only.
No,
Not holiday.
see, I'm saying that don't do it on any of them.
I got you.
It's paid time, paid vacation,
And
whatever. It's paid time
It's
off.
paid time off.
All right.
I just want to interject real quick. Said right across the hall from HR and payroll. So I hear these conversations every payroll week. You're going to have employees that are going to say, well, I'm taking off Friday, but I'm going to come in and work. So you're going to pay me 8 hours vacation,
No,
even if I can work?
no, but they can't just come in and work. See, that's where the HR needs to.
Well,
you can't take a vacation day and then decide that you work. If you're taking a vacation day, that's going to be at work. If you get called in, then that's what I'm saying. You've got to be called in by. You can't just make a volunteer choice.
Okay.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
That's what I was more wanting to be sure. that
You
needs to
can't,
be-
no, that, I can see, that's, like, yeah, I'd do that a lot.
Yeah.
You'll start working 4 10s and calling it on Friday.
I mean, I'd work every Friday that they do that, but they don't let me do that
Yeah.
where I work, but yeah.
All right, so let's keep kicking this one for a minute.
Okay,
Rewrite
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah,
We'll try to get some clarity.
I think it's some clarity with.
Yeah, and that's like, that needs to be
Yeah, you can't just,
out.
you can't take a vacation day and then say, I'm just coming to work, and then get on half, that don't make,
Yeah.
that don't make sense at
That
all.
was, huh? Yeah.
When I was in industry, we did allow people to just get paid for their vacation upon request, but then that did not count towards their, 40-hour work week. So
We
if want-
do
if want
something
to
similar to
consider
Well,
that,
but,
just pay me
do
for
we,
my vacation
but
instead of.
do we allow that though?
Well, that needs, that
Well,
we need to know.
that'll
what
be
that
another
policy is.
discussion. We can go down that rabbit hole at some point in
Yeah.
the next few months. In the city, was we done a buyback. At the end of the year, we would buy back X hours. To where if you decided not to take off all year, and you got to use one, I would buy your other back.
But
so I
you don't
can
need
use
to pay
it.
time and a half for it.
Right.
No, you just you're buying a different rabbit hole.
That's a different rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I think that's all, yeah. Some revamping.
Well, this
Yeah.
is a work
Well, that's
session,
why
it's a
it's
perfect
just-
time for it, so good job.
Very good, thanks.
All right, discuss now policy ordinance, chapter 50, section 34, 42, and section 43.
These all came from HR. The blue is what for previous administration. The black is what currently is now. Red is, suggestions from your A2.
What is the,
You too.
I have not seen this one before tonight.
as far as discussion goes, let's just do that.
Yeah, that's all it
And
is, just discussion. Sorry, I thought that Trey could send it to you, Mike.
Yeah, I had 226, and I've seen the one we just talked about. I hadn't seen this one.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I wish,
There was a reason.
we
why-
didn't have this sent to us either, did we?
Should have been sent when I sent the agenda.
Oh, it was in
In the whole
the attachments.
Mhm.
All right, well, we all have a copy of it now.
Now,
If there's any
yeah,
questions,
that's what I'm saying.
we got a week or two, to do
Yeah.
amendments, and then we'll look to vote on it, or not vote on it in the next meeting. Just don't let it get sidetracked, y'all keep up with it, so we can try to get.
I need to read.
I don't remember I'm trying to remember why we, there was a reason on that dismissal, but I don't remember what the cause on it was. It put us in a bad position.
I'm not really sure, last several months, lots of amendments when situations get brought up. I always tell, Lacey and Miss, make a note of that amendment. If that amendment didn't work for your situation, you say we need to fix it, make a note of it. And so we're just trying to catch up on some of those that need to be made. I don't remember the exact reason.
All right. Well, that's okay. We got 2 weeks to begin this.
Mhm.
That's why I like the work sessions. So updated just because of, state laws has changed.
Yep.
From like smoking and building, and we had to go back because that is the newest,
Yep, that's
Yeah,
what I added.
which wasn't a part of it, and we adopted the original. Simple enough. All right, we'll take a look at it. Discuss amendment to the, offenses, miscellaneous provisions, ordinance chapter 42 and 6. Same thing.
Yeah, that's yours, and county buildings, that's anything to that.
And I did have a chance to look at this one, and my only suggestion would be, that in section A, that we probably ought to be guilty of a misdemeanor, because the actual criminal law, which is where the misdemeanor comes in, still only applies, but the policy,
Okay.
yeah, but it's still an ordinance violation. So I think if we just take out that and shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, the rest of it all makes perfect.
All right. Consorting bid for Lim Edward Road, for right-of-way. I don't have that. Yes, I do. Good job, Christina. By the way, I was, and Christina and all her help, done a great job of preparing and, keeping us all in track as usual. So gentlemen, this bid here, you know, we went out for RFP, and we declined all bids because they were unfortunately, a lot of our local contractors on a small scale does the areas where RFPs can normally be found. Let's just say that in the newspaper or via website. So I talked to a couple of the local guys, and only one of them responded, which was Cowart's Tree Service of Danielsville. Locally owned business. You see this is rendered below, and on the we have a total price which come in well below the cheapest of the RFPs opened. I think that the lowest RFP that we would this amount of work, and it was like $250, $267.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for the full job complete, it was only laying them down. I reached out to Mike and asked, due above the $100,000 line that I'm responsible for, and due to the fact that we did go to RFP and we did decline all bids, if this bid came in lower than any of the RFP bids, that we could do this for my motion from this approval and still be legal with all state standards.
Right, and so public works construction, you have to bid if it's over $100,000, but out of that is your road work, and it's actually $1,000 limit on it. You just have to get two estimates. So you already have estimates with your RFP, which all came in high. So this is now under your 200, so your estimates requirement, but it's still more than the chairman can approve, so it needs a board approval.
Good job.
So, with this has been around for several months, we keep this
Yes.
10.
Well, there's a lot of work that has to be done. We think that there's that road and no water on that road. We believe only thing down through there is potential fiber or, phone work. We're going to request, we think that's AT&T, we're going to request, if we clear the back side of that right of way, go ahead and have the cable clear the front side near the road, that we don't damage it and put anybody out of service. We're going to do the loop is the intent, the way it stays hot at all times. We'll make that connection.
So the understanding is now, what about something that's got to be done?
That's right. It's in here.
Where's that said at?
The county did that part. So they're going to bring it down to the point that we use a dozer dumps, and we'll transport our stumps.
So they're going to cut them off.
They're going to.
We can just.
They're going to.
So that we
Just the stumps. They're going to remove all. There's a local gentleman down the road that has a mill that has agreed to take that, so he don't have to pay to get rid of it. We don't got to get paid to get rid of it. We'll come pick it up.
But we got to remove the ones that they
That's
decide
right.
that can't be milled. So.
Luckily, we have an landfill of just stumps.
So
We're going to reach out to GRP and see if they're willing to take the whole burial.
So do we think we're going to have to stump every one of these trees that they cut down?
Biggest part of them.
So,
Those are some massive trees.
yeah.
There's no, unless you completely move that road from its location, we're gonna destroy it.
So none of the other bids, they didn't include the stumping either, right?
None of them.
Even the two.
The one did that was, 590-something thousand did.
They included the stumping. Okay, that makes sense.
So what we could do on our own to save us some money,
Is the road department okay with
100%.
so they support this recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion, I move to approve this 192. Coward Tree, sir.
By Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner. Any discussion, gentlemen?
For instance, this is a proposal, not your contract form, but I think you've got my sort of independent contractor form, so you can just drop this into it for the scope of work and use that for the fact, and that's your work.
We have received all the insurance liabilities, the W-9, everything's done. Make sure we had everything on record. All right, so any other discussion? Hearing none? Oh,
Ask is that we carefully monitor the amount of time that I have to devote to this so that we don't take too much away from all the issues we have in the county.
that is correct.
And time management, all that.
The process should work. Me and Alan has spoke. We feel like one dump truck operator and one operator will be able to follow and manage the crew as they take. We have a lot of work going on.
Yeah.
We're still hiring. All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
thank you, gentlemen. And I guess what about this more than anything, this was a county, local owned business that got local work. Very proud of that. Consider director's position. Gentlemen, you know we done, y'all saw all three packets that come in. The one that has stood out the most is Miss Melissa Talbert.
No,
That's okay, no problem. Melissa Talbert, and west of, she spent, all three candidates spent an hour and a half, Figueroa, and, Ms. Figueroa come back that, Ms. Talbert would be the best fit for Madison County government. It's to you for a vote tonight, and I would entertain a motion to.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we, offer that position to Ms. Talbert officially.
All right, take a motion. I have a motion, Chandler, second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
I add one thing to this that I was made aware of today, after the vote. It looked SSUI, is that right?
Yes.
I did say that right?
Right.
Acronyms everywhere. We'll be running out in 2023 that we use the program.
That's for our finance, HR, and payroll services.
That company is No Government Services. We've used them for since 2004.
Mm-hmm.
We are currently entertaining a couple of other companies, some contacts on it. Myself and Thomas met, I think he even met with you. I know I'm comfortable with Southern Software, but he's going to reach out to them and see what kind of, but the timing looks like it's going to be, because we're not going to wait to bring them in, because there's some server upgrades. It's going to cost us about $10,000 SUI. We go ahead and make the change now, we can use our current server. And plus it'll give Ms. Talbert, not learning on one and then 6 months later swapping. We're just going to bring it in all at one time as we together. But we do have access points around the county.
And Ms. Talbert will be included in those conversations with IT directors
Absolutely.
on programs and demos and consults for those companies.
recommend that Ms. Talbert go talk to
Yes.
some communities that have used it and talk
Yeah.
to their
Yeah.
people
That's what I
that
talked
actually
about
punch the
with,
buttons, not until.
That's right.
That's it.
Thomas about that today.
Is somebody close that uses that?
City of Gainesville uses Southern, and then the other one that me and Thomas talked about, he, and people that used it, so I told him, with the new finance director coming in, if he could just go ahead and do some of the legwork, and then be able to provide Ms. Talbert with, and sit down with her, and be able to go to the local, the city of Gainesville, so they have that to see it, and somebody can show her, and so that's coming for in here. But we've got until the December, so we don't want to bombard her as soon as she comes in, obviously she, but, with, Thomas does want to get started on that.
And Kathy is gonna be, is she gonna be?
Yes, she's going to be coming in 3 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week to kind of hold her and keep everything current and
For how
up to date, until July 1st. So, she's wanting to come in from like 8 to 12, Monday, depending on the days. If she's not done by 12, she's got to stay later. She said she'd stay later. If Missy feels good that day, she will sort of go on. If she needs to stay later. So
She's gonna be available
yes,
for.
Ms. Figueroa, she would be
Okay.
available and help.
I applaud her for it.
Yes.
I appreciate Ms. Figueroa's service to the county for these years and all, but I would hope to put in place some measures where we don't find ourselves in this position by some additional training, and my greatest fear in business dealings is one-person departments. They're frightened. And I think we should use this as a lesson and keep it in the back of our minds that maybe next year we need to give some budgetary concession to having someone who can implement Ms. Talbert in this position. I think the county's budget's large enough now that we need to do this.
Probably need to do better.
Well, I concur
It
with
would
you.
be
We all
bigger,
will.
and it would help us also with our, getting all our audit stuff and with other considerations.
Yes, you can have some
Yeah.
division of services.
Right.
And
But
bring
also,
things together.
it would also help to check and balances.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Urgent matters. First one on urgent matters is to revert to beer and wine license for La Cabana LLC in Colbert, Georgia. Motion to approve or deny that request.
I'll make a motion on reapprove rather since, it's already gone through the process and, our friends at the partner call had some computer snafus and let's get these folks up and running.
A motion by Commissioner, second by Commissioner May. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Derek's on you.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Ms. Linda Holloman to Department of Family and Children Services Board.
I assume that she's all for this, right?
Yes, that's the letter that you have that comes
Yeah.
from, I think it's Christy Daniels, is that
Right.
the director at the bottom? That's her letter of recommendation.
Right.
I'm assuming this is Ms. Linda Holloman.
Yes.
She's great.
We're going to be appointed to this.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Chandler, is that you? Second, Commissioner Kirk. Any discussion?
Just appreciate the board taking this under urgent matters due to continued presence there and that facility is due to lacking board members.
Yeah.
Agreed. Commissioner Adams?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. discuss a letter to the chairman of the Transportation Committee regarding Highway 106 and East Commerce Road, Diamond Hill and East Road, per Commissioner Adams. I know there's been a lot of discussion about that intersection, and I think you're requesting a letter so we can have somebody take a look at that intersection.
Yes, there are just the potential, for accidents there. It may be because of the angle of the roads as you approach from, Diamond Hill and from Commerce side, right? One way or the other, you're gonna be straining to look back at your shoulder on that road. The alignment of the road, or we need to provide a traffic light or something there. And I would say that, I believe I could safely say that that particular intersection and any other one in the county right now, I just want some consideration before we, and I know that there's two are county roads and one is a state highway, but it's just time to address.
So, in that condition, are you requesting that Mr. Pruitt put together a letter and requesting some assistance from the DOT? All right.
I would like the chair of the Transportation Committee to copy it on that letter of mine.
Well, first I got to vote on it.
Motion to do
Yeah.
that?
Motion.
I'll make a motion.
All right, second. Motion by Commissioner Adams, second by Commissioner,
I would offer a friendly suggestion that the sheriff should be able to give us some crash data or information to help support.
Yeah, I'll obviously need some fairness departments.
Gotta give them a reason.
All right. Discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Executive session, discuss reacquisition, personal matters, potential litigation.
No, sir.
Motion, we don't need a motion to adjourn. I'll have one anyway, go ahead.
So move.
Good job very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. Young man, for staying awake.
Look at the time, y'all.
It was that's a lot to do. Okay. Yeah. A lot to do.
Speak to you.
The good part is we got that milestone, Adams boat behind us. Good enough. So we got that milestone for unanimous. Okay. No, it was perfect. Nobody got a
Yeah, not so much profit in midstream.
Come on, man.
First one line. How you doing, young man?
I called you before you started that. No, yeah, but before 12, we had an hour. Get ready for tonight.
I'm gonna move around, y'all.
They're trying to enter into a conservation easement deal and they've got 100 acre parcel. They need 100, they need 50 acre parcel. It's adjacent. So he redrawn property lines, don't stand in question. Is it allowed currently with our Lord?
Yeah, my view has been, if you start with two parcels, in with two parcels, moving some acreage between them, that doesn't violate that.
Yeah, that's where we were going, but,
That name, aren't they,
Yeah.
we spoke on.
Well, that's what I was just curious.
I think oh, yeah.
It's all together. That's like Cabana Hill is.
So there's two different.
There you go.
What you're talking about is involved a rezone. And that's a trickier question. But you're talking about parcels that have the same zone, so that's no problem.
Same zone, I think we're just saying, here,
Yeah.
instead of here.
Yeah,
How that would work.
that was not the intent of the for it, as I understood.
Sorry, it came up. It's been a fun day, I apologize.
That was
Kind of weird. I've only got it.
Yeah.
checking that out.
Oh, I saw it earlier.
Yeah, well, there you go. I hear you.
Well, Jim,
Bringing that up. Right?
That's not legal.
It is not legal. Sorry, you can't do that.
Well, I'm glad it's not